Hey everyone, thanks for tuning in and welcome back to our series where we bring you the Purple Facts. Today we're looking at Prince's 7th album, Around the World in a Day. Prince could have taken many routes to follow up the global smash of Purple Rain, but he opted to take his music into a new psychedelic direction, a very bold move. And as always, we're here to bring you the info on it. Let's do this. Fact number 1. The hand-drawn artwork on the cover of the album by Doug Henders pictures an array of colourful characters, some based on Prince, the Revolution, and his circle at the time. But for many years, fans wondered what the significance of the Prince character having blonde hair was, since this wasn't a look we'd seen on Prince. Well, it turns out that we almost did. It turns out that Prince had attempted to dye his hair blonde, but had suffered a bad reaction to the hair dye, and so had it all cut off and put back to his normal colour. So the illustration here portrays what Prince might have looked like if his original plan had worked out. Fact number 2. The title track for the album actually didn't originate from Prince. It was put together by Lisa Coleman from The Revolution's brother, David. Prince had gifted him studio time for his birthday, and David had come up with the song and the title during these sessions. Prince was so blown away by what he had heard that he asked if he could have the song, and it was reworked into what we know and love. Now, this wasn't the only track on the album with contributions from David. He also performed on The Ladder and Raspberry Beret. And he wasn't the only brother of a band member to play on the album. Wendy's brother Jonathan Melvoin performed on the title track and also on Pop Life. Fact number 3. An earlier version of the title track also featured a spoken monologue by David Coleman, telling a story about men from all countries traveling to a small village somewhere to meet a particular girl and aim to win her heart. That vocal was recorded and then flipped in reverse, much like on Darling Nikki, and layered over a part of the song. But ultimately, this section did not make it into the final mix. Fact number 4. Prince decided that he didn't want to play the regular music industry game at first and chose to send the advance copies of the album to radio stations without there being a single, asking that the radio stations simply play whatever track they liked from the album. Now, this idea was good in theory, but simply didn't work. Instead of listening to the album to find something they liked, the radio programmers just didn't play anything from the album at all. Warners saw that this was happening, told Prince the idea wasn't working, and Raspberry Beret was quickly rushed out as the first single in the US. Fact number 5. Speaking of singles, we all know that Paisley Park is an iconic song in Prince's catalogue, and would later become the name of his now legendary studio complex in Chanhassen. So it might surprise you to learn that the song was never actually released as a single in the US. It was released as a single in just 3 territories: the UK, Europe, and Australia. In fact, in these markets, Paisley Park was actually the first single from the album and not Raspberry Beret. Additionally, the song America was never released as a single here in the UK. Fact number 6. If you're a hardcore Prince fan, you probably know the name Tarja Savell. She was signed to Paisley Park Records, releasing an album and multiple singles including Love is Contagious and Wouldn't You Love to Love Me, written by Prince in 1987. But what you might not know is that Tarja's first appearance on record is on this album. She sings backing vocals on The Ladder. Fact number 7. Although the album credits state that the album was recorded at Paisley Park as we know it now wasn't actually built yet. For this album, Paisley Park refers to a building named Flying Cloud Warehouse in Eden Prairie, Minnesota. Fact number 8. The song Raspberry Beret actually originates from the 1999 album sessions 3 years prior. It was originally recorded in April 1982, one day before Something in the Water Does Not Compute, and a day after How Come You Don't Call Me Anymore, at Sunset Sound in Hollywood, California. Unfortunately, Michael Howe, who is the archivist at the Prince estate, has stated that this original version has yet to be found in their archiving, and it may no longer exist. If it does get found, hopefully we get to hear it one day. The final fact. The original version of the song Temptation was done in a rock blues style that was much faster in tempo than the version that we know. Prince recorded that version live with his band, but the very next day he went to the studio and did the slowed down version that we now know. Interestingly enough, because he was working with engineer David Leonard, this marked a rare occasion that Prince recorded at a studio different to the places where he usually worked. Because David was working over there at the time, Prince went over to the legendary Capitol Records studio in Hollywood and recorded this song there. However, Prince, for whatever reason, didn't like this studio and didn't use it again, preferring to record at nearby Sunset Sound. And that's it for another episode of Prince Facts. What's your favorite song from around the world in a day? Let us know in the comments. Hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure you subscribe and hit the bell for notifications, and we'll catch you next time. My name is Casey Rain, we are the Violet Reality. Peace, and be wild.
Hey, St. Paul here. Make sure you go subscribe to the Violet Reality, the funkiest channel on YouTube.